shotgun start in golf is full of mathematics. There's a lot of setup work that we have to do in order to make a tournament work. So I'm going to demonstrate to you just exactly how we do a shotgun start here.
Here we go. Hey. All right. Gentlemen, start your engine!
Greetings and welcome to a Monday edition of the Shotgun Start. It is October 20th. Andy, how we doing?
Brendan, I'm doing phenomenal. It's really early here. I barely had any coffee, but I'm buzzing. You know why?
Why is that?
It's a Victory Monday.
It is a Victory Monday. Your Chicago Bears are 4-2. Is that? Do I have that right?
First 4-game winning streak since 2018. BP vibes are good in Chicago.
That's lovely. I love that. That's great. Happy.
Now, we haven't really beaten anybody. We haven't
beat the commies on Monday night at home. I mean, that's they're dicey, but that's a legit win. That's a legit win for you guys.
But anyways,
3 turnovers put in your lap. But yes, that was a good win. Yeah, great.
I don't think we've really beaten anybody. I don't think we're really that very good. But winning 4 games in the NFL in a row is very hard.
That's tough to do. Brownies are off the schneid. Took the Dolphins absolute woodshed. Dylan Gabriel, nice little 13 for 18 for 120 yards win, something like that. Something just total garbage like that. Beat up on the Dolphins. And then you have PJ's Jets just getting. I don't even think it was close with the Panthers. I got to be honest. I was running around with U Sports. Didn't seem like it was competitive.
There was a chance. We had the ball with 4.5 minutes left. Tyrod could have walked us down the field for a game-tying touchdown and instead threw an interception again. So
worst team in the league.
By far. I don't even think it's close.
Quick little hypothetical I was thinking about this morning. In this NFL minute, I don't care. It's October 20th. There wasn't even a PGA Tour. Echevarria, empathizers can go elsewhere today. I was thinking this morning, the Colts are an absolute machine, a wagon. And I'd say between the three of us, I don't know how many times we've come into a season with Daniel Jones is our quarterback, or, so-and-so is our quarterback. Probably not going to be good. Could be maybe an 8-win season. I don't know. How many times in our life has it played out where we had a total washout, total question mark, maybe bad, on the record, bad-looking quarterback, and the team just turns into a complete wagon.
We had Fitzpatrick and went 10-6 and still didn't make the playoffs because he threw 4 interceptions. He turned back into a pumpkin in the last game of the season. So that's the closest that I have.
I would say Derek Anderson for the Brownies.
That's one. That is a potential DA, but he was still an unknown quantity, not high expectations. But
for the Bears, doesn't exist. We never had a mediocre quarterback that had a good offense. We've never had a good offense in my life. We still have not had a good offense. So
I'm happy for Colts fan. I was just trying to think, I can't imagine being, and here you are a month and a half later, and they're an ass kicker. It's kind of crazy. That doesn't exist in my lifetime. So
hey, PJ, how many weeks till the Browns square off against the Jets?
2. It's November 9th. They just were doing a ticket sales ad on the radio because I'm sure people are really, really fired up for that one.
I think you should drive down to BP's house, watch it with his 4 kids. Mr. PJ visits to watch the Jets square off against the Browns.
Leave New York to come to Maryland to watch the worst game of the year. Okay, I love it. I think we should all go, and we all wear garbage bags for both teams on our heads. And, I'll bring my kids. I'll subject them, make them do that. It might be child, labor or something. We could do that. Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, they can only take so many weeks of Marcus Mariota at this point that they might be willing to ride with Dylan Gabriel for a second.
Yeah. How long? Is Jaden out for a while?
I haven't kept up, but no, I don't think he's gonna be out. It didn't look great, the knee injury, but they have a hard schedule. As soon as they lost the Bears, in my opinion, their season's done. Like they had to win that game. So that's it for my commies.
Hey, Peach, I wanted to hear while we're off topic.
Please.
I wanted to hear about you inspiring the youth. You had a big weekend in upstate New York. How did it go? You gave a talk at the Syracuse Journalism School.
I did.
Or media school. Is it journalism school? What do they call it up there?
It's communications.
Okay.
So,
All right. There we go.
everything, all encompassing.
all right.
I did. Me and James Colgan, the distinguished media alumni. You know, somebody texted me when they posted it on Twitter, and then that got sent around to a bunch of people. Smartin texted me, you know, kids think they're showing up for Tirico and Costas, but they get me and James Colgan, which is a hilarious kind of visual. But it went great.
Hey, that's more approachable for the kids. They could see themselves being PJ one day, right? They're closer to being PJ than they are Tirico right now. So
the first question somebody asked was like, what's like the funniest thing you've had to do? So I got into the colon within. So say we started this thing at like 1:00. The colon story was out by like 1:07. So
the
I think
inflatable colon at the Phoenix Country Club.
I think I might have even lost people or hooked them in pretty quick. I laid the cards out on the table really quick there, and whatever your opinion of me was, it was set within the first 7 minutes for sure.
I love that. So you had a good time. I'm glad they're bringing you back.
Looked like you played a cool golf course.
Did play a cool golf course. Green Lake State Park, baby. The pride of Syracuse.
Love that.
I hadn't seen this place. It looks awesome. Those greens are really cool.
I think it's like my favorite golf course I've ever played. It's always a big deal because having free golf at Drumlin's Design Disaster noted hero place Drumlin's. So it's a big deal.
Play free at Drumlin's.
Yes. So it was a big deal when we went to go pay $50 to play a nice golf course. So in retrospect, it's something we should have done more, but I was very happy to get back to Green Lakes.
Early RTJ, which is the best RTJ. Honestly, this earnest comment is RTJ early in his career before he got into like the kind of like he scaled his business, and it was like he built so many courses at the same time. But like I think I saw it was 1936. But that one picture you put up with the greens, it looked banana land. Green.
Yeah, 17 green is like the biggest potato chip I've ever seen. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool spot.
Love that. PJ's weekend in Syracuse. That's a good one. Green.
Any other highlights? Did the Orange win?
Oh God, no.
Smacked, right?
God, no. Got killed.
It was a night game, right?
It was a night game for some reason. It's really. I mean, Brendan, you know, all the Big East teams are kind of just floating in football, but for whatever reason, Pitt is the one school that like we actually really really hate. So it was embarrassing to have "Let's Go Pitt" chants just raining down from the 5,000 Pitt people that made the drive up. It was really bad.
Did you go?
Yeah.
Were you still there? Okay.
Yeah, it was
All
not
right.
good.
Okay.
It was depressing.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm glad you got to speak to the
Well,
youth.
you might have a chance at a second win coming up soon. I think that's the last game of the season.
I don't want to even talk about
I'm
it
just saying.
right now. It's worse.
Hey, can we talk about being disrespected?
Oh boy.
The Illini.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about YouTubers.
They well, I want to get to that next.
No, there's nothing to get to.
We're getting to that next.
Nothing to get to. There's no need to escalate. Someone that dense.
We're getting to that next.
No.
I was gonna say the Illini are like 22nd in the polls. We've lost to 1 and 2 in the country. That's it.
We have 2 losses.
What are they?
Literally, we've lost to number 1 and number 2 in the country.
What are they?
22nd.
You know, that's I'm with you. That's bullshit. That's garbage. If they were in the SEC, they'd be like 9.
Now the Indiana game was a disgrace.
Okay.
But we were in the Ohio State game.
If you were in the SEC, you would be like 9th still.
Yeah.
2 losses to 1 and 2. I don't know. College football minute.
Like we beat USC, who like now this is a huge Notre Dame win. No, what a good win by Notre Dame. They beat USC.
Yeah, I love this. This is your platform. God knows there's enough propaganda for SEC and everybody else. You use it. Advocate for Illinois. This is the one corner where they're going to get advocacy. I love that.
Bert was tweeting about it on X.
Yeah. There we go. Love that.
Also, you know what was being tweeted about on X?
What's that?
The YouTubers are coming at you.
I was playing the charity scramble on Friday, like purposely put my phone away. I opened my phone. It's just like, I guess I should have expected it, which is fine. Totally fair game. Expect it, I didn't think I was poking the hornet's nest. I was just writing an article, and the hornets came out, and yeah. Wes Bryan wasn't happy with the line I put in the Friday newsletter, which is fair. Probably shouldn't have been happy with it. And that's fair. I'm not. I certainly had a few replies to his reply in mind, but I just didn't think escalating it would lead to a good place when you're dealing with someone like that. And so I did. So we're fine. We're good. I will say his contention that we are reliant on attention and clicks is not entirely accurate. I'd say the beauty of the fried egg is like we kind of don't need clicks, don't have to have them in a way that many other places.
Like
and
his YouTube page needs.
And I was thinking about it, like, and I don't mean this for hyperbolic effect on the podcast. Like, this is how I was thinking in my head. In the 15 years that I've done this stuff, and I think you're the same, 10 or whatever, I don't think I've ever started from a point of, I'm going to do this for attention. Like, I honestly don't think it ever has crossed my mind before I did anything. I have thousands of things I've done. Podcast, written, whatever. Like, I don't think I've ever thought that way. And of course I write or talk about things, Rory or Tiger winning the Masters versus, something that's, although we talk about the minor league golf tour plenty here, I would say. I don't think we're doing that for attention. We do things because we want to make good stuff, or we feel a certain way. We feel that it's, this will be amusing or entertaining or insightful or fun to talk about or write about. Like, that's where we start from. I've never, ever thought, or let's make good shit. Anyways, I didn't mean to go down this road. That was the one thing I don't know that I've ever thought that way. And we fortunately don't have to. Anyways, that's my 1 point. But fair. I mean, look, you got to get the pages going. Got to get the YouTube pages going. So big news this morning crossing our desk in the world of YouTube.
I'm glad we got to hear that out.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, what an idiot. Just stupid.
Come
PJ, just
there's no reason to
trying to drop a bomb on us.
No reason to escalate this.
PJ just escalated that with the soundboard.
I mean, they're good enough at handling themselves. We don't need to do it for them. Like, it's fine. YouTube, big news in the world of YouTube, crossing our desk literally as we go live. The Good Open is apparently coming to Austin, Texas. Whew. People just say this is disqualifying Austin. Tough look for the city of Austin.
Where's it at?
People who live in Austin are saying, I'm out on this event. I can't believe this is happening. I'm speechless. It's the Good Championship. Is it at
Butler Pitch and Putt?
I assume Austin Golf and Country Club, or am I wrong on that? Does it say where it is? PJ, do you have that? The news is literally crossing our desk. Do we have a venue, or it's just Austin? I don't know. Is everything good? Do you get to do good with your playing partners? I don't know what the origin story of their name is. I'm fine with this. The tour is leaning in to a different, younger segment of people and audience. I don't know if the same people who watch good videos are going to tune in to watch a fall series event, Tyler Duncan battling it out with, Rico Hoey or something like that. But I think there's some backlash to this that I don't really get. It's fine. If I'm Austin, having a fall event isn't really the
No.
greatest thing in the world. I mean, it doesn't.
Might be like the only fall event I'd go to.
Why? Because Austin in the fall is wonderful.
Yeah.
You know,
They got a lot of stuff going on in the fall. I think that Austin needs to roll back their fall. They have the
what does that
F1.
mean? Oh,
They
too
got
much
UT
stuff. Okay.
football. They got ACL.
Well, UT.
You know what's
football.
going to get lost in the shuffle?
What? The
Pepe
good.
Peter Malnati coming to Austin.
I was thinking about this the other day. Like the fall series is kind of afloat. Could they pin it to like college
I mean, that would be kind of sick. Actually.
markets? If you go to the game on Saturday, you get a free ticket on Sunday or Friday. Or I might be the worst idea. I'm just like thinking about that, and you'd have to time it up with big home games. It seems tricky.
I have a feeling I would know what Brian Rolapp would say to this idea.
Like, get the hell out of here.
If you need to do a promo
Yeah.
with college football,
Yeah.
then the event shouldn't exist.
Yeah. I for the fall, I think you just gotta either scrap it or think outside the box like that. You know, start to get a little far afield. But the good championship is coming into our lives.
We're always going to remember this fall as the emergence of Rico Hoey as a world-class player.
Rico, is he in Utah? I assume he'll be in Utah this week. You love Rico Hoey.
Well, hey, this could be a
Broomstick.
good Rico course. You know what you need to do here? Drive it straight.
Drive it straight. Yeah,
Lava.
avoid the
Lava Central.
avoid the rocks. In
Can we
India,
talk about India?
Yeah, let's please. Tommy Fleetwood wins, gets really hot around, makes 4 birdies in a row around the tour, gets hot, wins for Frankie. That was the big storyline. Frankie told him, I haven't been there for a win to run across the green. Literally a week later, delivers it. Pretty cool.
I was going to ask you, is Frankie the new Dash Day?
Oh, come on. I think Frankie's more authentic. Oh, never mind. I can't say that. Jesus, we're talking about like 8-year-olds. I love Frankie. Yeah, he's the new Dash Day. Sure.
I mean, Dash Day is like a grown adult now.
Well, yeah, he like kicked my ass. He's like 6. He's a big boy now. He's a full-grown adult. Amazing. To that point, and he gets hot, he wins, he beats Daniel Hillier, Kaida Nakajima, a couple other guys in the
Shane
mix.
Lowry in the mix.
Shane Lowry. Frankie is like this phenomenon. This is a dumbed down question. Like, fully admit this is dumbed down, maybe first take or something like that. Like, can Tommy Fleetwood become a bona fide like superstar in golf? I sort of feel like we're there. Like, he's very recognizable. My kids, like, it goes like Rory Scotty and then Tommy, they want to see. I think he's I don't know if he's be like one of those second tier, like very popular supporting players. Like Max Homa comes into our lives and he's mega pop, like that kind of thing. I don't know. Could he be a superstar? It feels like he's really cracking through, making it.
Well, he's a TaylorMade sponsored guy, which there aren't many of them, you know?
Yeah.
They're kind of all actually pretty recognizable.
Yeah.
In a sense. Like the Thorbjornsen's like the but I think like the Ascension. But the thing that people like about Fleetwood is the story, which is like kind of like a farcical story, right? Where like it was, he couldn't win. He had all these close calls. And then he wins. And that's like the story that everybody glommed onto, even though he had won all these times in Europe. But I think this year he's taken his game clearly to like a whole different level. I was going to ask you, like, in terms of the best players in the world, where is he ranked right now?
That's a good question.
Is he 3, 4, 5? He's probably definitely top 5 for me.
Top 5 for sure. I think, like, given the year Xander had, I think he's ahead of him right now. Yeah, I'm not sure how many people ahead of Scotty and Rory, aside from them, you would put at this moment in October of 2025. I think he would be right there. Given, I mean, has he been out of contention really since like July?
I mean, his results have been amazing.
Dunhill, he might have been so, but that was literally right off the Ryder Cup.
He's up to 5 in the world rankings. He's definitely better than Russell Henley.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, he has an MC, but I mean, he's had so many top 5 finishes. It's kind of actually insane if you go back even to like the Heritage.
Is there Is there a modern golf course, a modern like setup kind of thing that you think he's like kind of screwed or boned on that like really puts him at a disadvantage?
I don't think so. He hits the
Yeah.
ball so freaking good, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, the thing about him is it just again shows like what iron play ages like fine wine, right?
Yeah.
And I stumbled actually last night when I was literally dumpster diving for anything to talk about on this podcast. I stumbled across a Jamie Kennedy tweet thread about Rory and his his kind of evolution.
Yep.
And how he's lost like a half a, Rory's like the perfect example of like what skills age. So Rory used to, I think I'm paraphrasing here.
From
He used
Jamie
to gain like 1.2 off the tee. Now he's down to like 0.6. And the reason is that he was this freak speed demon. And if you want to use like a cross sport analysis, like Giannis, when he came into the league and became Giannis, was like a complete freak.
Yeah.
Giannis is less of a freak. He's still a freak. And Rory's still a freak, but less of a freak today than he was 7 years ago. And for Rory, 12 years ago, he's so much less of an off the tee freak. There's so many other people that can resemble, maybe not match what he does off the tee when he's going great, but resemble what he does off the tee now. Just like, like you look at the NBA and it's like, well, Wembanyama now exists. Like he's more of a freak than Giannis, right? But anyways, like what Rory's done is like all these other parts of the game have evolved. And the iron play, I would say, is like kind of like for his level, a little bit of the squeaky wheel, but his putting this year was great. Yeah. Like and these are the ways that he makes up his advantage to stay an elite player. For Fleetwood, his superpower and what has been his like dominant skill has been the iron play. And I think like iron play, elite iron play, and this is what Scotty's game is based on, is really it's really hard to be an elite iron player, and it's really hard to like get there. And I think that's the skill that also endures. Like you remain an elite iron player into your 40s. For the most part, if you look at every great player in the game's history, they are an ultra elite iron player. And I would say that Rory is like, he's like above average iron player and has been very good in years, but he might be the only modern player that I can really think of. I guess, DJ was a really good iron player though. He was an elite iron player when he was in that run. So like you start to think about these guys, like elite iron play is the best skill. If I could have one great skill, that's the one I would pick because it's going to stick with you.
Yeah, that's interesting. I wonder, and honestly, that's
Tommy at age, 36, 37?
Yeah.
I mean, he's playing the best golf of his career, and it's because he's a great iron player.
That's some good dumpster diving there. That's a really interesting discussion. You just said if I could choose one, you'd say, I wonder if every 18-year-old out there would say that nowadays. Like, no. I want to have, speed that's 200 miles an hour, and I'm going to go and have 5 good years, and I'm going to win at Detroit Golf Club, and I'll get exposed elsewhere, and but I'll make a ton of money. And
well,
I don't know.
The data boys would tell you differently. You have to have speed, but like speed's, we're seeing too. Listen, I don't think anybody who's like above a scratch should be doing speed training. It's gonna make your golf swing worse. Like, I don't think anybody, like, you fundamentally have to be in a great spot to do speed training, or else you're gonna get in like really bad habits and you're gonna hit like some terrible golf shots.
I am so fast, but I can't find the center of the club face to save my life.
What happens when you do speed training is you make compensations in order to pick up speed, and you have to understand your swing really well in order to speed train without, repercussions of like, okay, I'm kind of like swaying back so that I could get more weight back so I can transfer through faster. Now, like you might be teaching and you might be raising your ceiling, but there's going to be like some repercussions of this. I think speed, you can, if you are a tour level player, speed you can go find. I don't think you could, and there's been like a predominant trend in teaching of like, and this goes to like the Scotty thing. I think Scotty picked up a lot of speed this year. I don't know. I was watching at the Ryder Cup and I was kind of shocked how the gap with him and Rory was not that big after like I've watched other tournaments, go back to LACC and watch LACC when they played together on Sunday. And it was like the Gulf of Mexico between them, or Gulf of America. Depending on what terminology you prefer. But anyways, he's picked up speed, and like it goes to Randy Smith. Like teachers now are like teaching kids at 12, like just learn how to swing fast. I'll teach you how to hit the ball solid later.
So it's reversing the order with Randy.
Randy, that whole, we've talked about it a ton here. Like the idea of like being the best, like he taught Scotty how to hit the ball solid.
Yeah.
And they've layered on speed later. And this is like that long range view and how important it is with golf and improving your golf game.
Yep.
Is not trying to do, and this is, like layering in speed training. And I don't know if Scotty's doing it, but he's picked up speed. There's no denying that. Like he's got to be hitting, he's hitting low 180s now, as opposed to, when he wants to put the gas in the truck, I don't know. It's just I think the ideologies on golf, like the iron play is such an amazing weapon to start your career from.
Yeah. It's interesting. I'm looking up Scotty right now. Yeah. 177.08 average. So, 56 right now. You talk about iron play being reliable. We saw that, Harman kind of played well this week. Shane Lowry
reaction to the one shot.
Yeah, I did. Like, I mean,
he must have hit that awful.
He did, but it landed.
I know.
I know that the result
disgusted with the strike.
It was awful. He threw his club against he did a Wyndham, which is what we'll call it. Like that's, you burn. You are a competitor if you're getting worked up about an iron shot in India in October that ended up 10 feet from the hole or whatever it was. Great iron players: Harman, Lowry, Fleetwood. Is this the key to testing the speed demons? Is this how we roll it back, Andy? Course strategy. I was reading many write-ups, dumpster diving, as you say. And one, I believe, from Evan Priest, not that his writing belongs in the dumpster, but that's just looking around for stuff in Golf Digest, said, while at first the layout seemed perplexing, Delhi Golf Club's charm was that course strategy was number one storyline, and fans likely wouldn't remember the last time they saw tour pros hit that many lawn and mid irons. Quote, I'd rather leave myself 2 or 3 clubs back and hit a 7-iron to a par 4 instead of hitting a wedge. McIlroy, the first reigning Master champion to bring the green jacket to India, noted earlier in the week. I would say the charm was the different landmarks and monuments that they were sightseeing around that seemed to be dropped in different parts of the course. But was course strategy the number one storyline for you because of this claustrophobic jungle death on both sides of 30-yard corridors?
In my dumpster diving, I should have had notes, but this was literally, 10 p.m. last night, laying in bed. I saw something like almost 50% of players left their driver out of their bag.
Yeah, I saw that too. Close to that.
I think there's stuff to learn about this, and I think pro golf is a lot like the hard thing that we've kind of entered into is that pro golf setups, good pro golf setups are bad regular golf setups for the commoner.
Yep.
So like we need to either have pro venues that are only pro venues, or we need to like not worry about what's being tested with pro golf, right? Because it's more important for Delhi, golf and country club to be a great, setup for everybody every week, which, it might be. I grew up on a course that in the early 2000s probably looked like this,
Yeah.
it's narrow. But I would say, I think like it didn't really test the whole bag. Now it provided a different test, sure, and that's fine. But if you want to talk out of one side of your mouth that you're growing the game in India, then the other side would be, well,
Want to see some Daners kids?
It'd be great. It'd be great if Rory McIlroy, one of the greatest driver of the golf ball of a generation, could hit the driver.
Yeah.
So, like, I think like we're talking about growing the game. If the theme of this week is growing the game, let's put a proper test in front of them. DLF.
I love that. I think, it's so easy to throw out the word strategy as just they didn't hit a lot of driver. Right, that doesn't necessarily mean it. They just had to hit irons. Like basically it was prescribed for you. It was very prescribed. There weren't choices. This is it. You hit it down this narrow corridor. But we just connote strategy with, he didn't hit driver, bombs away, which is also not a form of not strategic golf, but just saying fewer drivers or no drivers means strategy is sort of I think the wrong conclusion to jump to. That's India. Do you have any other thoughts?
I think the one thing, like, if people really like this, everybody goes like with golf courses, like way over here or way over here.
Mm-hmm.
And let's just like talk about what middle ground would be. Would you like to see a couple holes on golf courses that take driver out of people's hands and thus make them lay back and hit 7-iron?
Yeah,
you
I think
would.
that's occasionally, not exclusively, not for all 156 players in the field.
All right, I agree with this.
Yeah.
Now hold on. Remember the par 5? I can't remember where the golf course was that forced people to lay back with an iron because of a creek and then hit like a 3-wood into the green.
Canada?
That every player, it was Canada. Every player and every media pundit who's praising the trees now complained about. This is the stupidest hole in the world. These guys, they talk out of both sides of their mouth. It's ridiculous. But like, you can't be mad about that hole, which does the same thing, and
right.
and then be like, India's awesome because it takes driver out of their hands.
Exact same thing. It's just presented a different way. One's a creek, one's trees everywhere.
So what we should do is we should like holes. Like I played High Point, Tom Doak's first course that came back recently. And I was talking with Tom about it. He had his event last week there. And I was like, what I like about it is I stood on the first tee. And I think this is where like modern golf architecture has gone a little too far one way. I feel like I stand on most tees and I just pull out driver. I'm super comfortable and it's just bombs away all day, And I stood on the first tee. It was funny. I just walked up to it and I was like, I'm standing over the ball and I'm looking out. I was with a big group and I was like, oh my God, I got to hit like a really good driver here, and it's like a par 5 because it's like more narrow. And I thought like the golf course there, for example, is obviously new. It's an older course, but it's new. One of the things he did there was like, it is not super wide. And I think that's been like a modern trend, but like the not being super wide, I found like made me think a lot more off the tee about what I was doing and what clubs I was hitting. And there's a balance between giving enough space and not too much space, where you can create that optionality. You can do it with creeks, you can do it with bunkers, but we have to also be okay with a hole that isn't just like overloaded with trees taking the driver out of play, because it seems like people aren't okay with a hole that takes driver out of people's hands with a creek
for other reasons. Yeah,
like a par 5 that you hit an iron off the tee and then you have a 3-wood in. Like I remember that week, like it was yesterday, people being like, they're hitting less off the tee than they're hitting into the green. What a stupid hole.
Yeah, people hated that. It was 18, I think, right?
Yeah.
On that Canada.
Was it Oakdale or something?
I forget the exact name of it. It was when when Taylor beat Tommy? I think that was it. And then the bombed it in.
You just called, was it Nick Taylor?
Nick Taylor. Yeah.
I thought you were saying
sorry,
Taylor
no, Nick Taylor. Yeah.
Nick Taylor. Yeah. That was that week.
Yeah. I'll just say this, like the average was 269 off the tee in India. I think that's like 20 some yards shorter than normal on the European Tour. Like it is a fact. This is a fact that lots of trees and narrow fairways take driver out of the bag more often, or take driver out of play more often than not. Now, people then use that fact, I would say, in not the most good faith ways, but it is a fact. And so people then can kind of spin their own argument out of that, trees are the solution for distance. And that's just not. It could be in theory. I guess it can be, but it's not the solution for any kind of interesting golf tournament.
Let's extrapolate India out. If they played, I think what people want is more variety.
Yeah.
That's what they're asking for, but they don't know they're asking for that. Right now, they're just asking for trees. But if we played this every week and nobody ever hit drivers, people would be like,
what are we doing?
WTF, you know?
Yeah. What are we doing?
It would get super old. Like the novelty, it's kind of like Chapultepec. Chapultepec is fun for a week.
Yes.
And I think this is like something, I don't know. Obviously, we'll get to roll app. I mean, I can't believe we're at minute
The dumpster
40.
is full.
We didn't know that there's this much meat on the bone in the chicken wing we found in the dumpster. But the thing that roll app should look at is that variety. There should be an intentionalness put in this. You can't do this when there's 50 events. You cannot. There can't be any sort of like idea of like cultivating and curating a schedule.
A real emphasis, intention, like you said.
Like the venue's selection should be a curation, if you think about it, and it should be how are we putting forth venue balance that tests a wide range of skills. I think it's really hard. There's only a couple courses in the world that really test the full range of player skills, that could do it on a weekly basis. And guess what? Guess what those tournaments host?
Majors. They don't
majors.
Want tournaments.
So if I was thinking about putting together a PGA Tour schedule, I might start to think about like, how do we find venues that test certain combinations of skills? And some weeks it might be like, this is an air it out bombs away. But other weeks there are courses that test mid irons because the golf course, and what they might find is these are smaller venues. These are 7,000 yard courses, not the 7,500, because those 7,500 yard courses have been built in the modern era and to accommodate drivers, right?
Yep.
The 7,000 yard courses were built for a different set of equipment, so they are actually less accommodating for that driver oftentimes, and that's what we saw this week in India.
Yep. Now, if you were curating not a course roster for the PGA Tour, but curating an outfit for the weekend, and you had a collegiate rooting interest like your University of Illinois Fighting Illini,
I've been wearing my long sleeve.
You could go to beadratty.com, enter the promo code SGS30, get 30% off. They've got a full collegiate collection there at beadratty.com. I saw a good friend, Hunter Johnson, Burner Johnson, as he's sometimes known on Twitter, wearing an Alabama cool polo. Alabama, I think they beat up on Tennessee.
That looked like a good game to be at. I was pretty
fun. Saturday night. Yeah.
Saturday night. What's the deal with the cigars? Is that just that game?
No, maybe. I think
it's the Tennessee. But everybody in the stadium was smoking cigars. I was watching that on Saturday night, and I was like, God, I wish I was there.
Looks like
and you know what I wish I was there in?
A B Dratty cool polo. That's what Burner Johnson.
I have the Willie, or not the Willie, the Jack long sleeve.
The
Illinois.
Jack long sleeve is a money item. That's for this time of year, October, like a 65-degree day. Jack long sleeve. It's their cotton polo. I've got the original Liam cotton. Everybody needs that. They've got that in their staple. I don't know if they have it in black. I don't wear a lot of black items, but you see Alabama. DeBoer has some like black hoodie that they kill everybody when he's wearing this. So it's like become this phenomenon in Alabama. So maybe if you're jumping on that trend and you're a Crimson Tide fan, they've got that. Well, they've got Georgia. They've got a bunch of SEC schools, ACC, Big Ten. You go to bdratty.com. Use the promo code SGS30. These are hot out there in like the burnerverse. A lot of people, a lot of the youths or younger folks wearing a lot of bdratty collegiate apparel. Go to bdratty.com. SGS30 is your promo code. All right. India
when are we going to
Championship.
an SEC football game? We got to make that happen next year. SGS on the road. I feel like we've talked about this for 5 freaking years.
And not like on the road. We mean like once, right?
Once.
Not like 4 weeks in a row.
I would also, what is PJ, you can get in on this. What would be the number one venue that we should seek out?
I mean,
for SEC game.
We're talking about 3 people who like are kind of not buying everything to SEC, but want to go to SEC stuff.
I want to go to the whole experience. I want to experience the SEC game day.
All right, Peach, go first.
I'm sure somebody can advise us on that. But the whole game day experience, I feel like you got to go to the Grove for that, right? That's the biggest tailgate. I might be wrong.
I think that's right. But I saw a friend of the program, like Stephen Godfrey, who went to Ole Miss. So like that's amazing, but then the stadium's not as loud because it's just kind of like this.
It's like a party.
It's genteel, yeah, which is fine, one or the other. I've been to LSU, so I would probably put that first, but I've already done it.
That's
LSU
high on my night game at LSU would be high on my list. I'd make sure to wear LSU colors. I hear that's not good if you're the opposing team.
Yeah. I think Knoxville would be my next one after I've done LSU. I think it's something I really. Auburn seems like.
Does Knoxville turn the lights off though when they?
I think they all do now, don't they?
Well, if that might be a disqualifier for me. They might have been the first ones that started doing it, though.
Flash. Yeah, I got to stop.
We got to go to the Tennessee blackout game for you then. Then it's all going to be lights off and flashing.
What's yours, Andy? Is it LSU? Is that yours?
I probably LSU night game. I will say that the Bama game day looked pretty good.
It did. Florida, if they ever get back, going to the swamp when that's humming would be amazing.
That's when they're going to be back. That stadium's getting rebuilt the next 2 years, so it's out.
They are fixing that up. So,
Lane's going to bring him back. It'll be fine.
Wherever you go,
going there.
Seems like people are saying that. Who knows? SEC. I mean, a lot of good teams, but I don't know. They're just feed each other on the rankings. To your Illinois point, like I love the SEC, but are any of those teams actually like great?
There's no repercussions for them losing because they're always like, well, like Vandy is really good.
Yeah.
I mean, South Carolina stinks. Alabama.
South Carolina stinks, but they had like a high preseason ranking, so there's like this sort of residual, like, oh, that's all right. I mean, Kentucky should have beat Texas.
Yeah.
In overtime.
But Texas is ranked ahead of Illinois.
That's crazy.
Arch can't throw a ball 10 yards.
Just a guy. I love the SEC. Yeah. I just think it's a little weird. The rankings, like, I don't know. Not ideal. Anyways. All right, let's move on to Champions Tour. Seamless transition.
But go get your B Dratty collegiate gear.
Speaking of B Dratty, Justin Leonard.
There we go.
Wins the Champions Tour.
There we go. Wicks an eagle on the last hole, right? The 54th hole. They don't play 4 rounds there. And wins the Dominion Energy Classic in Richmond. Eagles the last hole. Anything else from this, Peach that we need to know about?
It's more just Ernie. Ernie kind of blew it coming down the stretch. I know there was a big debate about whether KVV was going to admit defeat on the Ernie versus Phil ongoing decade-long debate. If you're in Ernie's corner, not great getting chased down by Justin Leonard, missing like an 8-footer on 18 to extend the tournament.
You know what? Playoff. His mind was probably on autism research.
And we got Bo Van Pelt on the outside of the bubble after somebody told me he shot a 58 in the Pro-Am on Wednesday. But
You're
BVP
getting
not
Pro-Am
making it.
intel about Bo Van Pelt?
I'm
Like,
getting
God,
everything,
dude,
man.
this is sick. This is sick.
Getting
People
everything,
send you
man.
BVP Pro-Am
PJ doesn't even have to do the work anymore. Everybody's just feeding him the info. He's in Syracuse. You know, he was asleep at the wheel this weekend. Probably didn't do his mandatory 1 to 2 hours of watching. Now he just has sources that feed him all the info.
I think my sourcing has done us well in the last few weeks.
That's fair. The only Champs Tour nugget, and this might replace the LPGA unique winner every week, game within the game storyline. Bernhard Langer has won every year. So he's 68. He's won one event every year since turning 50. He's Bagel Boy so far. Again, he's 68. He's a Bagel Boy. He's got 2 left.
It's what happened last year that he won
right.
Phoenix to keep up the streak, so he could be running it back.
That's right. Tied for 5th. So Langer, can he keep it going for 19 straight years? Win on the Champs Tour. That's game within the game. All right. Moving on.
Would you rather, if you were at a course, this goes back to the Phoenix Country Club kicking the Champs Tour out,
allegedly.
I know.
If you were a golf course, would you rather host a Champions Tour event or a PGA Tour fall event?
Fall.
I think you're wrong here.
Well,
I think I'd rather host a Champs Tour event
because Ernie might come.
Oh yeah, legends, and they're just happy to be there. I feel like that you have to do less.
Yeah, that may be. I guess if it's a Champs Tour event in like the spring and you're not, in the fall you just want to watch football, right? I mean, fair. It's a good debate, which doesn't speak highly of the fall events, in my opinion.
Nothing speaks highly of the fall events.
Well, we got the Good Classic coming, or the Good Championship, whatever it is.
Do you think Blocky's getting a sponsor exemption? Right?
Oh, he is. He probably is. He's a good guy. That'll be good. That'll be interesting. Literally sponsored. All right, let's move over to the Japan Open. Naoki Karaoke.
No way. No way.
Blocky is going to get his 50th PGA Tour start or whatever it is at this point. Naoki Karaoke, 500 ranked player in the world, wins the Japan Open. He's going to the Masters and the British Open. I don't think he's ever played a PGA Tour event outside of the 3 Zozo championships. He's never really done a ton, but he wins the Japan Open. He's 27 and he's going to the Masters. I'm trying to think of like outside of an amateur, a mid-am or the USAM or the amateur champion. Like, could you get a guy that literally my first ever PGA Tour event or my first start, you just get dropped in and boom, it's the freaking Masters. And that's what's going to be the case probably for Naoki Karaoke as he wins the Japan Open and gets in.
It's amazing.
The Masters.
I'm excited to see him at Augusta and wonder who is that, and then be like, oh yeah, the guy won the Japan Open
in October. Yep. Elsewhere in Asia,
this is the Masters version of Open qualifying, and I'm here for it because you're gonna say this is so great now, and then come March you're gonna be like, I mean, seriously, why is this guy in the field?
Well, they got Penji or Penge as they
Penge.
Say. People are hostile about calling him
Penge.
Penji. He's from Milan, I believe, right?
Oh, you know what? Guess what? He's Marco Penge. But his nickname on this podcast is Penji. So okay, there you go. It's his nickname.
Split the baby on that one. Elsewhere in Asia, on the LPGA, we have the BMW Ladies Championship. This is won by Se-Yeon Kim, her first
27th winner
in 26 events, I believe. This was her first win in 5 years. She's obviously won majors with a Rolex Player of the Year in 2020, 18 wins worldwide, but her first win in 5 years. They have, I believe, 7 Japanese winners on the LPGA, and this becomes the 6th Korean winner on the LPGA. So that's 13 total from Korea and Japan this year of that 27 unique winners, which, further argues or is evidence of needing an Asian swing, right? You got 13 of your 27 winners are from Japan or Korea, not to mention Thailand, China, elsewhere. Yeah. They need Asia swing, whether Nelly goes or not. 13 winners.
Do we know what TV ratings look like over there? Is that I don't
We probably could. We don't know at this minute. That would have.
I'm but I'm just curious. Like, is the market for women's golf just like it seems like from everything I've heard exponentially better over there? Could you make a case? Like, I think they're like talking about the PGA Tour. Like, why would we ever leave America? The ratings are so much better here.
Yeah.
The business is so much better here. The effectively European Tour is subsidized by the PGA Tour to make it work. Is that the same, but actually, based in, Korea, Japan? Is the women's golf market just so much better than America's women's golf market? Is a question I would have.
Yeah, it's a good question. Sometimes that engine for good is stronger in other.
All I know is golf is the engine of good.
Been quiet on Don. Don's been quiet.
We don't need to even reference him. I was just throwing a little alley-oop there for the soundboard. Let's get to news. Not a lot of news, but there are some PGA Tour executive movements that came out Friday, I believe. We have a new chief commercial officer, a new communications strategy head. This is October. We're getting, people with C in their title and EVP in their title. The press releases on that. Dhruv Prasad is the new CCO coming over from the NFL, where he led their equity fund, media content partnerships. And Paul Hicks is the new strategic communications and public policy head, executive vice president. Our guy, Andy Whites, stays in his role, but expands to leadership of content creation and production, as well as analytics, research, and technology, to further increase focus on fan engagement, fan forward. We know that, all caps. So they're going to need to get in the boardroom and really do some.
Man, we sure are spitballing, aren't we, Rich?
PJ and I went for that at the exact same time.
Don and spitball, 1, 2, boom, boom, right back to back. Elsewhere, Neera Shetty, chief legal officer and interim chief administrative officer. Can I just read these words?
Yeah.
She will assume additional administrative oversight. What additional administrative oversight? Okay, sure. On an interim basis, while the organization assesses its long-term structure and needs. These added areas of responsibility include talent and culture, community and public engagement, global workplace and facilities management, the first tee, and aviation. What is aviation? Like the fleet of private jets that the tour has? I don't understand that, but just a lot of words. Additional administrative oversight. Neera Shetty, Andy Whites, and the two new guys, Prasad and Hicks, are board. Outgoing, out of the door, is Rick Anderson, the old CCO, who I always got a lot of positive words from. I don't know him, said he was a smart fella, one of the smarter ones down there, but also had some of the old institutional ways of thinking. But he apparently in the roll-up all hands, he suggested the TV deal was not good, which I guess would have put the writing on the wall for the people who were involved in that. And I think it's time and place in 2020. It wasn't bad. I don't know. The strategy wasn't totally miscalculated. So Rick Anderson is leaving, as well as Allison Keller is leaving, and they're leaving with just bathtubs full of money, from what I understand. If you're a higher up and you're taking these deals, the landing is soft.
But all I know is golf is the engine of good.
For those people.
So those are your movements on the executive front. Seems exciting. I don't really have any other reaction to that, right? All I'll say is there's a deference to new, right? I think when I have no reason to believe Roll-Up's an idiot or is going to fail, or Dhruv or Hicks are going to be bad, but there's just a deference to new. And oh yeah, we got some guys now, we're smart, we're going to think differently. I would say that was also the case when Jay Monahan took over. When Fincham's finally out, this tyrant grump is gone, and we got this forward, younger looking guy. There's just a deference to that. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
I'm going to push back. I think everybody knows that the boat has to change course.
I'm not suggesting it doesn't have to change course. I'm saying like
And
we're hailing these
no
guys
way
as their success, and they haven't done anything.
There was no way for it to change course with the executives in the room that have been instilled, and for the most part, like they're just PGA Tour lifers that work their way up within an ecosystem and can never think differently because they've just been all they know is one ecosystem, you know?
Yeah. My point isn't that there shouldn't have been change. It's that you kind of just assume the next guy's Albert Einstein coming in because he's new, and we'll see. Let's see where they go. It's exciting. Different course change. Eamon Lynch had an article on these subjects of executive shuffling and Roleb's charge, and suggested that perhaps a way to get Liv back in the door. I don't think Eamon was suggesting it, but a possibility of the movements is allowing the tour sort of green lighting Liv or Piff in this case to prop up, fund a little bit more of the DP World Tour, because right now that is could be a potential strain, not a strain, but take a nice pound of flesh from the PGA Tour coffers, and maybe the Strategic Sports Group and the Fenway Sports Group wouldn't be down with that. I'll read Eamon's article. It's not the Champions Tour that they're worried about cutting loose. It's the financial underpinning of the strategic alliance between the PGA Tour and the DP World Tour. Under the terms of that alliance, Ponte Vedra is now spending a significant sum to guarantee purses on the DP World Tour. In 27, the PGA Tour can force a deal renegotiation or exit. According to two sources, the price tag to remain and consolidate its equity stake could creep into 9 figures, which is a predictable sore point for the SSG investors whose ambitions don't yet show evidence of extending beyond U.S. borders. And guys who are unconcerned with elevating the game globally, much less sports washing, or who view things through the prism of commerce, might see Saudi Arabia's public investment fund as a welcome hedge for that obligation. So, yeah, spending money to guarantee DP World Tour purses. They might say, all right, Piff, you want to get in the game, here's where we join the party, and you help sort of become a part of this strategic alliance, or just help prop up the DP World Tour so we don't have to spend as much.
I don't know. It's an interesting situation. I think if you were going to rewrite the strategy of Liv, I think where it would have made a lot of sense was partnering with the European Tour after Jay Monahan inexplicably didn't pick up the phone. Right?
That's, yeah, five years ago or whatever. Yep.
I think, the reality of this is if Liv did this, they'd be effective. I don't know if Liv's ready to say they failed.
Doesn't seem like it. No. I mean,
Liv bots definitely aren't ready to say that the league's
failed. And Scott O'Neill's putting figures out that some might be legitimate of more revenue. I don't know about P&L, but more revenue is coming in. So
I think this is probably, it probably makes the most sense. But how often does what makes the most sense actually happen? You have someone who wants to spend irrational sums of money in the game of golf. You have a worldwide tour that is financially doesn't work.
I mean, just kill it. Then
you have the leading tour that on the flip side wants to remove bloat. And the thing that the tour has to game out is that if they allow Liv in, if they open the door to Liv in here, are they okay with the European Tour becoming a far more desirable place to play golf? Because really what pro golf is in popularity of tour is pretty much based off purse sizes.
Yeah.
And if Liv took all the money it's wasted, just flushed down the drain the last 4 years, and applied even a nominal percentage of that to the European Tour, I think the European Tour all of a sudden becomes a far more desirable place, and maybe a preferred place for a lot of the best players in the world, the worldwide players at least.
Yeah, I mean, Eamon suggests that at the end of his article, like you're letting the fox in the hen house here. You're giving the PIF like access to a tour that's stamped with world rankings points and some sort of official seat at the table. And
People there are a lot of world-class players that don't want to play a strictly American schedule. Those are all, for the most part, European and international players. But the tours used to be similar because the purse sizes were similar.
Yeah.
When Tiger came along and the American purse sizes went through the roof, the talent on the European tour went to America.
Moved to
like,
Florida.
let's not act like if the European tour had twice as big of purses, guess where Scotty Scheffler would be playing golf?
Right, up to a certain point. Yeah, but at this point in his career, he'd probably be over there. Good amount. Rory would be over there a lot more.
Like, why all these guys live in America is because that's where the money is.
Weather and money, but yes, the money first. I just continues the sort of 5 to 10 year tradition now of talking about these larger like business concerns, right? These what's happening at the boardroom level. Like, are we just they're playing like a game of Risk with like different tours, essentially, like shifting pieces around the board. Like, it's never about like could the golf tournament be good? But it's interesting. It's you have SSG essentially, I wouldn't say they're calling the shots, but they're a master you got to answer to at this point. Like, why are we guaranteeing this purse in, the Netherlands or the Made in Denmark?
At the Earth course.
Yeah, the Made in Denmark challenge. It's an interesting question to have to answer. But inviting Liv in is
I think that maybe the reason you say that is this is an expenditure that keeps us as the number one global tour without a doubt by controlling the competition. I mean, it's effectively a monopoly. I know that's
well, yeah. I mean, if they were really interested in it, they would the tour would just I wouldn't say kill the DP World Tour, but codify it into a full-on feeder deal.
They should combine it with the Corn Ferry Tour.
Yeah,
that's what they should do.
Yeah.
That's the answer. Is combine it with the fall series and the Corn Ferry Tour and make that the 50-week-a-year tour. Is a combination of Corn Ferry fall events and then make the PGA Tour 25-week a year calendar.
Yep. Well, they got to get spitballing if they're going to do it. So those are the big questions facing the tour right now. Interesting. October discussion. All right. We made it to an hour. I was like, what are we talking about today?
Over an hour.
We made it over an hour.
We haven't even talked about the Brewers. Happy trails.
Much like the YouTubers, you got Brewers fans throwing up in your kitchen.
They hung the Cubs, for those that aren't aware, when we win a game, there's a flag we hang, a W flag.
Center field or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Brewers, upon beating the Cubs in a thrilling 5-game series, they took a picture as a team with a clearly homemade L flag, because our L flags, different colors.
Wait. Was this a real flag? It wasn't like Photoshop thing?
No,
for social
real
media?
flag.
Oh, wow.
The team posed with an L flag.
Okay.
As a Cubs fan, we had the Billy Goat curse.
Uh-huh.
A curse that lasted decades, lifetimes. That basically, we didn't make it to the World Series forever.
Yeah.
Since the Brewers flew the L flag, took a picture with the L flag, they didn't win a game in the playoffs.
Didn't go well.
PJ,
what was your stat about Ernie Clement?
Ernie Clement has more hits in the ALCS than the entire Brewers team did in 4 games.
That's tough. So
as a fan, I could only hope that that we see this picture of them holding up the L flag as the great playoff drought for the Brewers.
You are really dislike the Brewers. I mean,
Oh,
is this number one?
Their fans are Packer fans.
You talking about college basketball? Like, is this your number one? Like, kind of you're
the
not
Cardinals are number one, but
baseball, but they're not good enough.
Yeah,
Okay.
they aren't good this year. But
has the gap closed? I feel like the gap is closed a little bit.
I think what it is that it's just effectively it's Bears Packers in another sport, which Bears Packers the number one rivalry, maybe in all sports.
Oh,
right?
Thomas,
Okay.
that is
All
such
right.
a
We're just
all right.
saying
I don't
once
want to
again.
burst your bubble on that, but that's not.
What are you
Maybe-
talking? This is East Coast, two East Coast.
That's not true.
I wouldn't even
Ohio
say
State, Michigan, Alabama, Auburn. Come on, get out of here. All right.
Giants, Dodgers. People literally die at those games.
Yeah. I Packers Bears is old. I don't know that it's like good. All right, go ahead. But it's
anyways,
transition.
this is one last thought before we get out of here. I complain about Cubs ownership being cheap because I understand that our owner pockets all the money. We create a ton of revenue and our owner pockets all the money, and we have a middling payroll. Brewers fans have this insane victim theory, and they're like, "Well, look at our tiny little payroll. Look at our tiny little payroll. We're just a small market team." You are who you are because your owner is cheap. Start complaining about your owner who pockets all the revenue, not about the sport. Now, I get there's some irrational spenders in baseball, and it's not perfect, but your owner pockets all the money, and you're cheap. He's cheap as shit. So stop supporting a cheap, bad owner. The end. Or at least complain about the owner, not about the dynamics of the sport.
There was a lot of narrative around that. Like, this is a series to determine if the sport is broken. Or
Yeah,
if
that
it's
was so
tenable.
bad.
There was a lot of that.
Passan's article and tweet. I don't think the impending lockout is going to boil down to the Brewers getting swept by the Dodgers. Personally, I don't think that's what it's going to come down to. But maybe I'm wrong.
Their owner is cheap, PJ, right? I mean,
Yeah, I mean, all owners are cheap except for the Dodgers and Steve and Toronto, who's owned by the Rogers Corporation, which I don't even know if you can consider that like an individual person.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not good when the Brewers make the NLCS and immediately leak that they want to trade their best player who's only making $8 million, as if $8 million is like a consequential. That's a rounding error in baseball, especially for a pitcher.
Maybe the Cubs will get in on that trade.
I think Freddie Peralta is going to look great in blue and orange on March 28th. I'm very excited.
You think Steve's going to spend more because it failed this year?
I do. I do. I think Steve is going to get aggressive. Hopefully not in bad ways, but I don't think Steve's going to quit anytime soon.
I mean, the Dodgers are proof positive of this. Like, we can not buy the division for 20 years and then figure it out. Like, whatever, however the cookie crumbles once you get to the postseason.
And I think they still make money. The owners still make money on that.
Yeah.
On that. And the point of this is that the Brewers make whatever $400 million or whatever it is a year and only invest $100 million into their product. So their owner is just getting rich on being cheap.
Cubs are also bad this way, which you admit.
The Cubs are the same way.
Cubs are worse. They
The
make like the 5th most money and have like the 28th payroll, which is like insane.
And if you talk to any Cubs fan, what we do is we complain about how cheap Tom Ricketts is. And that is the narrative of is why is our owner so cheap? Why does our owner buy up the entire neighborhood and then cry poor? Why, like that's the narrative of the Cubs is why don't we spend like the big market team we are? We don't complain about the Dodgers having a bigger payroll than us.
All right. Great Monday episode. Baseball minutes, football minutes. I love it. This is a good episode.
Hey, just remember the curse of the L flag.
This would be a good one.
You're throwing the gauntlet down.
I don't know who was on, like who the writer for the Globe or the New York Observer was that created the curse of the Bambino, but that might be Andy right here coining the curse of the L flag. Where we go?
It's not unreasonable to think.
All right. Everyone enjoy your Mondays. We will talk to you on Wednesday.